What's going on? It's Spuda TTV. We are back. Now I know R&B has been going crazy. Just lately, it's been a lot of conversations about like the new R&B, and just somebody that I've been rocking to lately. Name is Upstairs. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and let him know where y'all can follow him online.
So what's up, y'all? It's your boy Upstairs. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Upstairs UPSTRZ.
Okay. Now, when I first heard of you, it was probably like 2 years ago. I was at Patchwork and your management came. He came down and he's like, I want you to meet my artist. And I'm like, okay. So where's your artist? Okay, cool. He's like, he's upstairs. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, and then thinking like too in Patchwork, it's like a really
Right.
small upstairs. It's really
Yeah.
not an upstairs for real. But he's like, he's upstairs. And I'm like, okay, well, tell him to come downstairs. And he's like, no, his name is Upstairs. And I'm
I
like,
get that
oh,
so
that's.
I get that so much.
And then the way it's spelled Upstrz.
Yeah.
So like, why the name? Why the spelling? How did that come about?
With the name, it was inspired by a producer named Shakespeare that I was working with when I first came to Atlanta, and I kind of really just gave it my own meaning. Like I'm all about staying elevated and taking things to the next level. So it's really a mentality for real.
Okay. And then you got the Meet Me Upstairs, which you dropped into 2022.
Yeah.
And then before that, you dropped like a project Love Ain't Easy probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So like, what's the difference from like Love Ain't Easy going into like Meet Me Upstairs?
All right, it's crazy because Love Ain't Easy was actually remastered and it got put out again in 2020, and it was originally made in like 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I just remastered it. At the time I was going by a different name. I was going by Jay Bree, and I feel like the difference between that and now, I feel like it's kind of like a reintroduction to my artistry and like where I'm at right now in my life. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much yeah.
So were you Jay Bree when you were like doing the songwriting, or like did the songwriting come first? Were you always an artist? Like, how did
Yeah,
that
I was
work?
always an artist. The songwriting didn't come into fruition until I came out here and started networking and moving around. And it kind of just took I don't know, it kind of just put me where I kind of needed to be in a way. Yeah, like it was meant to be or something.
And you came from Minnesota. You were doing
Yeah.
music in Minnesota.
Yeah.
What was that like? How was that trying to like get an audience there or get
Yeah.
shows there?
I mean, it's crazy because not too many people know a lot about Minnesota, and you probably wouldn't think it's a lot of black people up there, but it's a lot of black culture, a lot of rich black culture. Like it was a lot of black-owned businesses and stuff like that in neighborhoods back in the day. And as far as like building my audience and things of that nature, I was doing school talent shows, and once I got a little bit older, I was doing like open mics and performing at venues and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I built my audience over the years.
Okay. Okay. And you are a songwriter, so I know you got some Grammy nominations. I know you work with like Eric Bellinger and like Chris Brown and things like
Yeah.
that. So how did that come about working with Eric Bellinger? Because I was actually telling someone that, and it was like, wow, it's hard to work with him. So I've
Right.
heard. That's what I've heard.
It's crazy because shout out to Jazzy Faye. Jazzy Faye was the one who connected the dots between me and Eric Bellinger. He came to me with a record that my bro Sequence he did half of the hook to the Go Get It record, which was his first single off of the New Light album. And I've been rocking with Jazzy Faye since I came out here, and he played me the record. He sent it to me. He was like, bro, I need a verse on this, da 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 da. And then he sent it to me. I did it, finished the record, and really just did a verse and like a post hook on it. And next thing I know, Eric Bellinger is cutting it, and then I'm getting footage, I'm getting tagged in stories like Jazzy playing on my music, he rocking with it. So it was real organic, you know what I'm saying? And it was real genuine. Shout out to Jazzy Faye for making that happen.
And then how'd you get that record on Slime and B?
Slime and B. That was through A1. I don't know if you're not familiar who A1 is, but he go by Spring Break now. And I built a relationship with him through a producer that I've been working with since I want to say around the same time, like 2016, 2017. His name is Tariq. He connected me with A1, and at the time I was just sending records. You know what I'm saying? Just trying my luck. You know what I'm saying? Just creating at the crib, recording myself and engineering myself and stuff like that. And yeah, that's how that came about.
Okay, that's hard. Now, I want to go through this album breakdown. Actually, before we go through the album breakdown, I really want to address like your thoughts on just like I don't want to say the wave of R&B because we've always loved R&B. We've loved R&B from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s into now. But they're kind of saying like a lot of the old heads, like was it Diddy or someone saying that like R&B today is dead?
Yeah,
like,
I seen that.
Like, how do you feel about that conversation?
I mean, it's dead if you're not into it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I personally feel. Like, I feel like R&B ain't really went nowhere because the ladies been killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may have died down for the males a little bit, but the women been killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your Money Longs, you got your LMAs, you got your Summer Walker. So, you know, they been holding it down for a long time, but I feel like it's definitely a good time and a good space for a new male artist to come through and really, you know, shake it up a little bit.
Okay, there you go. There you go. I think for men and women, I think it's been a really good like new R&B run. I feel like a lot of the men in R&B, like even with your look, is different. Yeah. Like men having locks, or they would say looking more gangster. Like, cause you got Daniel Caesar and you got Daniel Caesar and just a lot of these newer R&B artists, Lucky Day. Yeah. A lot of them that just have different looks versus just the hat and the suit type look and then dancing like Usher, you know. So it's like I like the new wave.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of new energy coming through, and it's a lot of talented people coming through too, and just, you know, giving R&B a different face, a different sound, and things like that. So I'm excited for R&B.
Y'all got a little bit of these DJs in Atlanta upset because, like, I saw, like, a Twitter thread about it's, like, less trap music being played in the clubs and it's more R&B and Afrobeat. Word. Like, how you feel about that?
You know, shout out to the DJs. They the reason why, you know, records are getting played and records are getting broke these days. So, and that's been that way since the beginning of time. So, you know, the DJs make these records come to life, you know what I'm saying, and give them a life of their own and putting it out to the world for new ears and new people to hear. So, you know, I don't know. I always give love to the DJs, and I respect it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got nothing against it.
And then in the club, us ladies want to dance anyway. We ain't throwing money, you know, having guns or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like when you go out to the club, it's like I'm not going out for the guys' enjoyment. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to vibe. You know what I'm saying? Probably, you know, I like being around women. So it's
like we want to dance.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
We want to always be on that gangster stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, now the album breakdown. I love the intro, how you're like, literally you can hear you walking up the stairs. Yeah. And then Right or Wrong, it's like, you know, you letting a lady drive you crazy, but it's like you kind of want to get a hold of yourself. So if you go like break down song by song, like just like briefly, like what each song is about.
Yeah, Right or Wrong is really I feel like it was a testimony of where I was at in my life at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like right or wrong, whether like it was a relationship that went bad or, you know what I'm saying, people I fell out with, like right or wrong, like I still had good intentions and like I'm going to still move with good intentions, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of people do this shit for, I don't know if I can curse, but a lot of people do this stuff for the, you know, wrong reasons. And, you know, I got my reasons and my morals that I take with it, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much right or wrong, just me standing on, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at with everything. And then you got records like Mine explaining like, you know, being
I love that video.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, thank you. But basically about, you know, being secure with your significant other, you know what I'm saying? Not questioning whether or not she's yours or not, and you ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't mind letting the world know that she's yours and she feel the same way type vibe. And
Heart to Heart, I like how you kind of like singing about the grind.
Yeah.
Like you hear people rapping about the grind, or it's always got to be something hard associated with it, but it's like you put a little bit of emotion to it.
Yeah, Heart to Heart is a vibe, and that's one of the turned up ones off of the project. And I really want to put that sound out more out there. Probably coming this summer. I'm working on another project, and I'm trying to put some more, you know, hybrid vibes out there to where it's like turned up but it's still R&B.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's the wave.
Yeah,
and then I like Mad Now because it's like I can relate to Mad Now. It's like, oh, you mad now, and it's like that little pettiness a little bit when y'all kind of going.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you fed up, you know, somebody done took you for granted and they thought the grass was greener on the other side. So it's like, all right, that's the route you was trying to take. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Like I love you enough to let it go, type vibe. So yeah.
What was your favorite song to work on?
My favorite song out of that project, I'd probably say Meant to be. I feel like it's one of the, along with Mad Now, I feel like it's one of those meaningful records, one of those deep cuts that really just tie everything together. Cause like in life, everything ain't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite ones for sure.
And I know you said you got another project coming up later. But is there anything else in the works, like people that you've been writing with? Or?
Yeah, I recently had the pleasure to work with Usher. So many others. I potentially might have some on a movie that's coming out. It's on some sync placement type stuff, and I definitely got a lot more placements coming soon. I will be on Eric Bellinger's tour that's coming up. I got a date in Alabama.
So you opening?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
I got a date in Atlanta. I got a date in Tennessee, and I got a date in Alabama. Yeah. So I got a lot coming up. It's really too much to remember, but it's a lot. It's
Man,
a lot.
Say we gotta cut that part out about the touring.
Oh, about the tour?
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
But no, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff coming up.
Okay. So my last question is just like, I feel like songwriters are like more of the new artists now. Like songwriters and producers, like y'all are getting a lot of respect. Cause it's like a lot of like major artists, they just be wanting just somebody dope to just go ahead and get them the song. So like, how you just feel about like just the more appreciation of like the songwriters?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely important to build relationships with the artists. Like for example, like my bro Vito, I've built a very good relationship with him. Like I can go hang with him, you know what I'm saying? I can call him if I need some or if I need some advice. But I feel like all together it's great that songwriters are getting a new light and they're being appreciated in a different way. And even they're giving out awards for like best songwriter of the year this year for the Grammys and stuff like that. So I think it's real dope. I think it's real dope. It's shedding light on people who are part of the process and a part of the reason why you love your favorite artist so much. And I feel like it's something that should be definitely speaked on more. But it's it's working its way up there.
Is there any like songwriters that like you're inspired by?
Oh, for sure. Eric Bellinger was one of those people that I was inspired by for sure, and Vito as well. Vito has written for Chris and Usher, and so has just as well as Eric Bellinger. So who else? I'm trying to think.
Anybody like legendary?
Underground or legendary? Hmm.
I think I like Babyface. Like
Babyface. Oh yeah, for sure. I had a pleasure of working with Babyface. It was a camp that he did out here in Atlanta. Shout out to my bro Keys for having me a part of that too. But yeah, Babyface. That was unforgettable. Working with Babyface, he went in the booth and laid melodies down and everything. So yeah, that was super dope. And Troy Taylor too. Troy Taylor's a dope producer and songwriter. I had a pleasure working with him on my last project. He produced Meant to Be and Man Now.
Okay.
So yeah. Definitely those two for sure.
Those were two really good songs on the project too.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, a lot more visuals coming soon, a lot more content coming soon. I look forward to doing more interviews and just doing more shows and getting back out there, you know what I'm saying, versus being super behind the scenes and tucked off. So I've been putting in the work for a little minute, and now I just, I feel like it's time to pop it, you know what I'm saying, and really go hard with the artistry. So yeah, Meet Me Upstairs out now. Go get that. Once again, y'all can follow me at all social media platforms at Upstz, UPSTRZ. And yeah.
Yes, and thank you for coming on Spill Tea TV, and make sure y'all hit us up and let us know who y'all want to see next. Let me know what y'all think about Upstz. His music is pretty smooth. Make sure you hit us up at 770-765-5422, and we are out.
Hey.